All right, the conversation you're about to hear isn't your average trading chat. It's a rare, behind-the-scenes exchange between two CEOs who run trader evaluation firms, companies that sell everyday traders a shot at handling serious buying power. But here's the catch. To even step on the stage, applicants pay an upfront fee, accept strict risk rules, and try to pass the challenge, but most of them don't, right? The failure rate is super sky high, and because the firms collect a fee for every attempt, they profit each time someone falls short. So in the video we're about to look at, the CEOs, they pretty much spell out exactly which rules trip people up and why so few traders ever reach that funded status. So everything you hear, I have to say, is completely perfectly legal, but parts of it might make you stop and think. This pay to prove model sits in a moral gray zone. Real money up front, tiny odds of success. And here's the thing, the companies running these challenges have the power to quietly shift, if you will, the odds even further out of reach of these traders. Whether it's tightening the rules, adjusting risk parameters, or simply making the path to funding more complex, they control the game. And the more people fail, the more they profit. If you're ready, we'll jump straight into it.
Yeah. Do you offer any form of psychological support to traders?
Not at the moment. So you got me on this one as well.
Okay. What about some crazy statistics like the one that you mentioned previously, James, about the 70% of daily loss breaches? Mm-hmm. Any other crazy statistics that traders would be interested in?
Average funded account lifetime is 11 days. Mm-hmm. I already volunteered all of my crazy statistics.
How about the maximum amount someone has spent on challenges and versus how much they have gotten in payouts?
Okay, so the most someone has spent on challenges is, we have 3 traders who have spent over 30,000 on challenges. Mm-hmm. One of them has never had a payout. Mm-hmm. One of them has had a payout of about 30,000. Mm-hmm. So they managed to break even.
Break even, yeah.
And then another one is more profitable.
Okay.
We have had someone who's taken 100 challenges but never got a payout. Mm-hmm. They've had over 20 funded accounts but never got a payout. Mm-hmm. We have another trader who also has done over 100 challenges and has only ever had like $100 payout. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of unsuccess stories as well.
Yeah, which is not a surprise. How about in fintech?
I would say something similar. I think I don't know the numbers by heart, but one that stood out was a lady from Czech Republic that I think she bought like 80 challenges in like 2 months or something like this. And the communication with her was a bit weird, so we actually then reached out and told her to part ways. Uh-huh. So that was a crazy one. Other than that, I think also the person who spent most on the challenges, they spent like more than 100K on challenges, but and I think they were like under break even. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I have just some basic data which might or might not be so surprising, but that's like the pass rate and so on. So on the Pro Trader, which is our most popular 2-step plan, the pass rate to the funded stage is 20% per client. So like every 5th client can actually get to a funded stage, and half of them actually got to a payout. So 10% of our clients got at least one payout. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Which is cool. But of course, what matters is the ratio between how much you spend, how much you earned, right?
Yeah.
So then it can get more tricky, obviously. And I already said that less than 1% of traders actually manage to survive on the funded account for more than 2 months, which is not cool.
It's definitely not cool. Anyway, let's kick on.
On average, it takes 12 days to get funded.
Okay.
On 2-step?
On any step.
On any step, okay. Could be, yeah.
So 12 days to get funded, 11 days to lose your funded account.
That's why maybe people treat it so recklessly. I don't know.
There are multiple reasons why people treat it recklessly. One reason is that majority of the industry is dominated by gamblers, not traders. People don't underestimate they underestimate how much effort is needed in order to actually trade sustainably, how much effort should be put in order to find the proper edge that will be profitable long term. Majority are just finding trading online. They take one course and they think that they are ready to trade. That's the most common customer that prop firms have. Then you have the other side, some experienced traders that have already experienced a lot of pain because of the industry challenges the past few years, and they are just thinking, we don't know if this firm is going to be here tomorrow, so let me just try to maximize my own profits without thinking about the firm.
Yeah.
And they would just go all in and risk a crazy amount. But those are the ones that they maybe lose a lot of challenges, but they're always not profitable for themselves.
Yeah.
But this is not really good for the companies because they're constantly blowing accounts. You don't have any kind of data, and you have to really put a lot of work into analyzing what they're doing.
The trading strategy is based on trading the prop firm.
Yeah.
Like they're trading against the prop firm, not trading against the market.
I still think it's better if they learn or they experience this through prop firms than if they did the same gambling high risk approach on a brokerage account and blow their life savings, let's say.
Yeah.
Which is something that we actually saw many times happening on a brokerage side of our businesses in past. So that's why I still think prop firm business model or the whole industry is definitely here to stay. Is definitely having a great value proposition for the traders.
Just to jump in there, just because something is better doesn't make it good, right? It might be a better bad or a better evil. Doesn't necessarily make it good, but yeah, let's continue.
And even though there are some issues, loopholes, or challenges that we have to face as prop firm owners, the future of the industry is bright, and I definitely believe that on the trader's journey, the prop firm should be one of the first steps they take before they either continue on a brokerage level or they decide it's not something for them and they maybe start to do something else.
I would say this is actually one of the most unsaid value propositions is prop firms don't just give traders a platform to make money, they actually limit how much they can lose.
Exactly.
Because like a normal trading account is just a bottomless pit. You can just keep throwing money back into it until there is nothing left. But at least with prop firm challenges, there is actually a boundary.
Is there a boundary though? Again, it might be better, but it doesn't make it good. And is there a really truly a boundary there? Because people can still continue to throw their money towards it, right? We'll watch it for another minute or two, and then we'll start chopping up with the conversation. But yeah, let's roll.
Well, you can also throw money into proppers how much you can, max your credit cards. Not everyone does it, but there are many that do that as well.
In fact, let's leave it there. Miles, have you got any thoughts on what you've heard at the moment?
Yeah, a lot to unpack. It's
a lot
fascinating,
to unpack, right?
Honestly. It's packaged as opportunity, but it feels so heavily skewed towards profit for the firm, not the trader. And those stats, 30,000 spent, no payout. It's just, it exposes a lot about human psychology too, doesn't it? That willingness to keep going, even when all the signs say it's a losing battle.
Okay, well, what I will say about all of this is that you've got to appreciate the openness here with these CEOs here. You know, they don't have anything to hide. Like I said, they're not doing anything illegal. And I don't think they're inherently bad people. So let me just put that out there. You know, I don't know these people, but they're just doing business, right? But it is clear, you know, and I think, as I said earlier, that if people don't fail their evaluations here, they're not going to make money. As in these prop firms, these evaluations don't make money. They're essentially leaning in on that probability of people failing, and ultimately, the higher that probability is of them failing, the better it is for these prop firms here. I appreciate the openness of this conversation, I have to say, but it should be an eye opener to any traders or any people who are actually taking these evaluations. I've been there as well. Do you know what I mean? It should be an eye opener to them as to where you actually fall in this in all these statistics that they've mentioned.
It's a sobering reality check for sure. And you're right, that openness is strange almost. Like they're admitting the game is rigged, but still offering to let you play. It's a very particular kind of transparency. It does make you wonder what motivated them to even have this conversation publicly.
Yeah, well,
It's a good question.
It is a good that is actually a good question. And I guess even having this conversation publicly, does it make a difference to the, you know, the behavior of those traders? Is it akin to sort of the smoke and kills on the front of a cigarette packet isn't necessarily going to stop people from smoking, right? As alarmist as you might think it is, the habits have already been formed, and so people are going to continue to do what they've been doing, unfortunately.
It's a really smart comparison. The cigarette packet thing. It's like people need to know the risks, but knowing them doesn't automatically change behavior, especially when there's a thrill-seeking element involved. It almost feels like it could even fuel the addiction in a way. Knowing it's a long shot can make it more appealing to some people.
You think? Expand on that a bit more. Yeah, knowing that it's a long shot. Is it people's desire to be the outlier, the anomaly, right? That 1%, the 1 in a million. Because the statistics are crazy when you actually hear it raw like this.
Exactly. It's the idea of beating the odds, of being the exception. There's a real psychological pull there. Like everyone else fails, but I'm different. I can crack the code. It's the same reason people buy lottery tickets, maybe. That fantasy of being the one who wins, and that fantasy can be incredibly powerful, even when you logically know the chances are slim.
Mm-hmm. Remind me of some of the stats that were mentioned in that.
Okay, so 70% of traders breach their daily loss limits. The overall failure rate is 90%. The average funded account lasts only 11 days. One trader spent over $30,000 without a payout. Another did 100 challenges and only made $100. And just 10% of their clients get at least one payout, and less than 1% lasts more than 2 months on a funded account. It's a pretty grim set of numbers, right?
Definitely grim.
It is.
Definitely grim. And these are just, you know, a couple of companies that are, you know, profiting from the bad behavioral patterns of traders. And I shouldn't just say it's all down to the behavioral patterns of the traders. It's their behavioral patterns in an environment that is even further designed to exploit negative habits that they have, right? I mean, ultimately the responsibility lies with the traders, so they shouldn't be coming to the table unless they've got their ducks in order. And if they haven't got an edge, they shouldn't be coming to the table. If they haven't got an edge and haven't got their psychology in the place, they shouldn't be coming to the table. So the responsibility definitely does lie with the trader, with the people, but the allure is what's getting people hooked in. So yeah, I guess there is a sort of moral discussion to be had around it. But that said, I think having the opportunity to make a lot of money, which is possible, as much as the stats go against that, it's definitely possible. But I just really would like to see more people, before they even look or consider any of these evaluation firms, just make sure that they've got their ducks in order, as I said.
It's a tough balance, right? The opportunity is there, but the system is so stacked against you. It's like they're preying on hope almost. And you're spot on about the psychological piece. It's not just about having a strategy, it's about being able to execute it without falling apart. And that's the hardest part for most people.